Psalm 18 for the music director by the Lord's servant David, who sang to the Lord the words of the song when the Lord rescued him from the power of all his enemies, including Saul. He said, I love you, Lord, my source of strength. The Lord is my high ridge, my stronghold, my deliverer. My God is my rocky summit where I take shelter, my shield, the horn that saves me, and my refuge. I called to the Lord who is worthy of praise, and I was delivered from my enemies. The waves of death engulfed me. The currents of chaos overwhelmed me. The ropes of Sheol tightened around me. The snares of death trapped me. In my distress, I called to the Lord. I cried out to the Lord from his heavenly temple. He heard my voice. He listened to my cry for help. The earth heaved and shook. The roots of the mountains trembled. They heaved because he was angry. Smoke ascended from his nose. Fire devoured as it came from his mouth. He hurled down fiery coals. He made the sky sink as he descended. A thick cloud was under his feet. He mounted a winged angel and flew. He glided over the wings of the wind. He shrouded himself in darkness, in thick rain clouds. From the brightness in front of him came hail and fiery coals. The Lord thundered in the sky. The Most High shouted. He shot his arrows and scattered them. Many lightning bolts and routed them. The depths of the sea were exposed. The inner regions of the world were uncovered. By your battle cry, Lord, by the powerful breath of your nose. He reached down from above and took hold of me. He pulled me from the surging water. He rescued me from my strong enemy, from those who hate me, for they were too strong for me. They confronted me in my day of calamity, but the Lord helped me. He brought me out into a wide place. He delivered me because he was pleased with me. The Lord repaid me for my godly deeds. He rewarded my blameless behavior, for I have obeyed the Lord's commands. I have not rebelled against my God. Okay, you're just giving shout outs. There we go. Yo, wait, Psalm 18. You like Psalm 18? Well, yeah, I've been here. You got some thoughts on it. Share what you've got. Share what you got. I always love other people's insights, especially it's like, I love this one. What is it about it that you love? Oh, that's not what I'm trying to do. I was trying to scroll the chat, and I clicked on the shout out link, and it opened. So I didn't want that playing in the background. Okay. I don't think anything else is there. So, to the musical director, the song David sung to the Lord when the Lord rescued him from the power of all his enemies, including Saul. I love that. Like, power of all his enemies, and particularly, this is partly what he sung when he escaped from Saul. So, yeah, Eichmann here. I just like Psalm 18 because it's so big and epic in its depiction of God coming to rescue. That is very true. As a musical producer, you like this one? Okay. My brain is always trying to find a tune to sing psalms to, and I sometimes I have to refrain myself from doing that. Okay, so he said, I love the Lord, my source of strength. So he's going to give us a whole bunch of things that are going to be strength images. So the Lord is my high ridge, my stronghold, my deliverer. My God is my rocky summit where I take shelter, my shield, the horn that saves me from my refuge. So like all of these things describing God as the rescuer, as the thing that will deliver, as a thing that is protection. I called to the Lord who is worthy of praise, and I was delivered from my enemies. So not a long section here of why God is worthy of praise, but that he is, and then going straight into, he delivered me from my enemies. The waves of death engulfed me. The currents of chaos overwhelmed me. The ropes of Sheol tightened around me. This reminds me of the prayer or song of Jonah. I went down to chaos, the seaweed, wrapped around my legs. I went down to the mountains below and close to Sheol. So there's a flavor that reminds me of Jonah in the desperation of I need rescued. I am close to Sheol. Their ropes of Sheol are tightened around me. The snares of death have trapped me. So there's no way out unless God rescues you. I called to God. From his heavenly temple, he heard my voice. He listened to my cry for help. So he is in the heavenly temple. He hears the cry. Cry came to his ear. My cry for help to his ears. My cry for help came before him, or my cry to help came into his ear. So same idea, depending on how you want to go with that. The roots of the mountain, that's what I was trying to get at. The roots of the mountain are underneath the sea. That's where the roots of the mountain are. That's still language that's going to match with Jonah. Now we're going to get rescue language, and we're going to get rescue language that is going to be the act of God. The roots of the mountain trembled. They heaved because he was angry. Smoke ascended from his nose. Fire devoured as it came from his mouth. So smoke and fire are images of God's mighty hand, and it also is the messenger of God who goes before the people as they go into the land. He hurls down fiery coals. He made the sky sink. I mean, we're just going to keep getting more images. A thick cloud under his feet. He mounted on winged angels and flew. Okay, we're in poetry here. We're not looking for an actual angel with wings and God riding on. No, this is the fact that God's deliverance is coming and he is sending it and it's gliding on wings of the wind. Like there's no escape from it. He shrouds himself in darkness, a thick cloud, and brightness. From brightness in front of him came hail and fiery coals. The Lord thunders. Like it's just like on and on. More description of the power of creation that God is using. And it's like shooting arrows and scattering them, lightning bolts and routing them. The depths of the sea are exposed. The inner regions of the world are uncovered. So those places where people hide and can get away with things, they're not gonna. By the battle cry of the Lord, the power of his breath and his nostrils, he reached down from above and took hold of me. He pulled me up from the surging water. Water is often chaos, so water is a place that you want to be rescued from. He rescued me from the stronghold, from those who hate me, for they were too strong. He confronted in the day of my calamity. So in the day that they're just about to finish me off, he comes and rescues, and he repays me because I am loyal to him. And he rewards me because of my blamelessness before him and because I obey. I did not rebel. All right. Did I shorten this again? It appears I did. Oh, no. I thought I got confused here. All right, we got ad break. So the text is deeply spiritual. This speaks very well about the inner spiritual battle against the spirits of the world tempting us at all times. Absolutely. And at times, though, as David is talking about this, he is talking about actual enemies, as it was mentioning, and even when he was, running from Saul. So these are actual dangers that he is facing in life, but they're no less real than spiritual dangers that we face. So I've made this mistake. This is only the second time I've made this mistake of accidentally ending before the actual end of the psalm. And I don't know what I thought was the end here, but I'm going to pick up in verse 24 and overlap that. So that's a good place for me to remember to come back to 24 when we get to the end of it. So let's continue reading Psalm 18. I inadvertently ended in the middle. Okay. The Lord rewarded me for my godly deeds. He took notice of my blameless behavior. You proved to be loyal to one who is faithful. You proved to be trustworthy to one who is innocent. You proved to be reliable to one who is blameless. But you prove to be deceptive to one who is perverse. For you deliver oppressed people, but you bring down those who have a proud look. Indeed, you light my lamp, Lord. My God illuminates the darkness around me. Indeed, with your help, I can charge against any army. But my God's power, I can jump over a wall. The one true God acts in a faithful manner. The Lord promises is reliable. The Lord's promise is reliable. He is a shield to all who take shelter in him. Indeed, who is God beside the Lord? Who is a protector beside our God? The one true God gives me strength. He removes the obstacles in the way. He gives me the agility of a deer. He enables me to negotiate the rugged terrain. He trains my hands for battle. My arms can bend even the strongest bow. You give me the protective shield. Your right hand supports me. Your willingness to help enables me to prevail. You widen my path. My feet do not slip. I chase my enemies and catch them. I do not turn back until I wipe them out. I beat them to death. They fall at my feet. You give me strength for battle. You make my foes kneel before me. You make my enemy retreat. I destroy those who hate me. They cry out, but there is no one to help them. They cry out to the Lord, but he does not answer them. I grind them as fine windblown dust. I beat them underfoot like clay in the streets. You rescue me from the hostile army. You make me a leader of nations. People over whom I had no authority are now my subjects. When they hear of my exploits, they submit to me. Foreigners are powerless before me. Foreigners lose their courage. They shake their feet as they leave their strongholds. The Lord is alive. My protector is praiseworthy. The God who delivers me is exalted as king. The one true God completely vindicates me. He makes nations submit to him. He delivers me from my enemies. You snatch me away from those who attack me. You rescue me from the violent man. So I will give you thanks before the nations, O God. I will sing praise to you. He gives his king magnificent victories. He is faithful to his chosen ruler, to David and his descendants forever. Well, so we had 50 verses there. So I did make it just about halfway, and now we got to go back and do that. Much like John's apocalypse, the author is pointing to a pattern that occur over all history of mankind, writing using spiritual terms that cover all ages. God is the same today, yesterday, and forever. I love how you worded that. Yes. So he indeed is talking about this, and there is these like lengthy descriptions of things that get repeated and repeated and repeated over the passage as we go. So we're in the section here where God is going to reward those who do godly deeds. He rewards those who are blameless. So we get a whole bunch of parallelism. So it's this, but let me state it another way. Let me state it another way. And we get multiple parallelisms here as we go. You prove to be loyal to the one who is faithful. You prove to be trustworthy for the one who is innocent. You prove to be reliable to the one who is blameless. But you prove to be deceptive to the one who is perverse. So we've got the couplet of it's the same. We got a couplet of it's the same. And we've got a couplet of it's the opposite. So you prove this, but on the other hand, if they are deceptive, you are going to repay them. Or sorry, if they're perverse, you're going to repay them with deception, which is what they're doing. Yeah, they're describing the purification act of oneself. Yeah, I see that. You deliver oppressed people, but you bring down those who have a proud look. I wondered the wording of the proud look there. Proud eyes you bring low. Okay, so they're saying a proud look. See, when they say look, I'm not thinking eyes. I'm not thinking anything. I'm thinking that my clothing or something else about my demeanor, not my stare. Like I'm giving you a look. Really? Really? I'm better than you? That's the proud look there. Indeed, you light my lamp, Lord. My God, illuminate the darkness around me. Indeed, you are my help. So now we're turning to God. And what is God? God is a lamp. He illuminates the darkness. He is my help. And with his help, I can charge an army. By his power, I can jump over a wall. That's interesting. What do we have here? I can jump over a wall. The psalmist uses hyperbole to emphasize his God military superiority. Yeah, so walls that are surrounding a city that are too high to scale. And he's like, with God's power, I could jump over any wall. I could jump over any wall. The one true God acts in a faithful manner. So here's one of the keys. My God is faithful. He is with me. I am with him. I am following him. I am going to do everything in my power to follow him. And in a return, he does all this for me. And it goes back and forth. Now we're going to get all of these things that he is. His promises are reliable. He is a shield for all who take shelter. And then we're getting, who else would you go to? God, besides God. Who else can protect besides God? Who else has strength besides God? He removes obstacles in the way. He gives me the agility of a deer. He enables me to negotiate rugged terrain. He trains my hands for battle. So we're getting the ability. We got the wall climbing or jumping over, and now we've got animal motifs. Was interesting as I was reading through this. I don't know if you saw this in the last month. There was some mountain goats that people put cameras on, and they're watching the mountain goats like blaze a trail on the top of these really, really steep cliffs, and there's like nothing that's there to stand on for you or I. And they're just like, boom, just like zooming along and just watching the goats in front as they're running along at high speed. It was really cool. So if you can see that, it's cool. So you're thinking in negotiating rugged terrain here is the inner self? Removing the obstacles in my way. He gives agility to the deer. He enables me to negotiate rugged terrain. You're thinking that's inner self, Picasso? I would have been thinking that more on the, he gives me strength to combat my enemies. My arms can bend even the strongest bow. You give me your protective shield. Your right hand supports me. The right hand, the outstretched hand, is the hand that can act. It refers to many things, but this is a spiritual battle. I love that you're bringing that in, Picasso. I don't know if I've so much seen this as a spiritual battle as much as I viewed, and because of David specifically, as we read through the story, he has enemies who come against him, and he's always fighting battles that my brain just goes, this is battle language, and I'm just thinking of the physical battle, but I like that approach. And welcome in, Mad Mama's Farm. Checking in, covered in prayers and kindness. Thank you. Here's a nice one. You widen my path. My feet do not slip. You make wide, and I think there was a reference that was similar earlier at the top. I didn't point it out. You make my steps under me. Steps probably refer to I can't get that word. To the path upon which the psalmist walks. Another option is translated, you widen my stride. This suggests that God gives the psalmist the capacity to run quickly. Well, a narrow path is a harder path to traverse, but with God's help, my path is now easier. So I think that's the image there, regardless of what it is. And then you have a matching, my feet do not slip. Because you have made my pathway easier, I do not slip. And now, because of all of that, I'm chasing my enemies. I catch them. They do not turn back. I wipe them out. I beat them to death. They fall at my feet. You give me strength for battle. Again, as the middle of he's describing things, he keeps going back to God as the source. God is the source. You make my foes kneel before me. You make my enemies retreat. I destroy those who hate me. They cry out, but there's no one to help them. They cry out to the Lord, but he does not answer. I grind them as fine wind-blown dust. I beat them underfoot like clay in the streets. You, again, see, look, he says, I, and then boom, goes back to you. You rescue me from a hostile enemy. You make me a leader of nations. People whom I have no authority are now my subjects. So God did all of this. When they hear my exploits, they just submit. Foreigners are powerless before me. Foreigners lose their courage. They shake with fear. The Lord is alive. My protector is praiseworthy. See, he keeps going back and forth between, here's what you're doing for me. Here's what's happening. It's all you. It's all you. The true God completely vindicates me. He delivers me. I will give him thanks before the nations. I will sing his praise. He gives his king magnificent victories. He is faithful to his chosen leader, to David, and to his descendants forever. So we have the culmination of it is God who does everything. God has done all of this. God is doing it, and it's going to be a perpetual thing that God will do going forward. Yeah. Well, we've come across it before. It's a literary term there, so. Picasso, we in the Orthodox Church teach ourselves to practice watchfulness of our inner self so we can resist temptation at the instance they come and to appreciate all things in all times. Someone who is spiritual sees everything spiritually. This helps us to come to see the world in its reality, or as it really is, in lived parables and watchfulness of the inner life. That's cool. I think part of the problem that much of the Western world faces is we have a culture that is a materialist culture, and I don't mean by what we possess, but by believing that what we can see and touch are the only things. We have to use our senses for things to be real, and we downplay the spiritual realm. And our churches also, a lot of Protestants, downplay the spiritual realm because we can't see or prove things in the spiritual realm. And so we're not always looking for it. My problem is more, I haven't seen it. I don't know enough. Like, if someone was spiritually possessed, I don't know if I'd be able to identify it. I don't have exposure to it. I believe it exists. I've gone overseas and seen the potential for it, but I couldn't be the one to diagnose it. I don't have enough exposure to be able to do that. So I have, in the last 5 years, spent a lot of time learning around more of the spiritual aspects of things, and we can learn from one another. So Picasso, I love you sharing things and insights. It is very beneficial. At Mama's Farm. Hey,